Good evening. Welcome to council meeting September 15th, 2025. We ask that you silence your cell phones for the duration of the meeting. Tonight's invocation and pledge will be led by Mr. Schilling. Please stand.
You may bow your heads. Dear Lord, we ask that you guide us to work together as a team in order to have a productive meeting, enabling us to achieve great results. We ask that through you we are encouraged to listen to our citizens and one another with open minds. As always, we ask that you watch over and protect our military and our first responders. Amen.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we start, we will have request a moment of silence or reflection over the senseless assassination last week, and hope and pray that we do not ever get to the situation, if in our disagreements, that it leads to violence. Thank you. Mrs. Knight, could you please call the roll?
Mrs. Snee.
Here.
Mrs. Westfall.
Here.
Mrs. Marshall.
Here.
Mr. Twiss.
Here.
Mr. Wooden.
Here.
Mr. Sievert.
Here.
Mr. Phillips.
Here.
Mr. Schilling.
Present.
Mr. Pierce.
Present.
All members are present.
Thank you. Could you please read the summary of the September 2nd, 2025 meeting's minutes, please?
Minutes of Council, September 2, 2025, Committee Reports. Buildings and Utilities Committee recommended that legislation be prepared authorizing the Director to enter into utility annexation and service agreements with property owners located outside the corporate limits who are requesting water and/or sanitary sewer services. Committee recommends legislation be prepared approving the replat of 2 in-lots in the Halifax Estate subdivision. Law and Ordinance Committee recommended that ordinance number 023-2025, rezoning of the Smith annexation, be approved as recommended by the Planning Commission. Committee recommended that legislation be prepared to impose a 270-day moratorium on any new applications for community-oriented residential social services facilities. Recreation and Parks Committee recommended that legislation be prepared authorizing an amended agreement with American Structure Point related to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan to add a facility operations study. Resolution number R46-2025, authorizing utility annexation and service agreements, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R47-2025, amending the agreement with American Structure Point regarding the Master Plan for Recreation and Parks, first reading and adopted. Resolution number R48-25, approving tax levies as determined by the County Budget Commission, was given first reading and adopted. Ordinance number 023-2025, changing the zoning of 57.679 acres in the city of Troy, was given third reading and adopted. Ordinance number 024-25, approving the replat of 2 in-lots in the Halifax Estate subdivision, section 7, first reading and adopted. Ordinance number 025-2025, moratorium for 270 days regarding applications for community-oriented residential social services facilities, first reading and adopted. Following various comments, council adjourned at 7:39 p.m.
Move to adopt the minutes as read.
Second.
Motion to adopt the minutes is by Mr. Twiss, second by Mr. Phillips. Mrs. Knight, please call the roll.
Mrs. Westfall.
Yes.
Mrs. Marshall.
Yes.
Mr. Twiss.
Yes.
Mr. Wooden.
Yes.
Mr. Sievert.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Mr. Schilling.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes.
Mrs. Snee.
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
Thank you. Moving on to committee reports, I believe we have one tonight. Mr. Phillips, Streets and Sidewalks.
Hang on, I'm scrolling down to it. Thank you. The committee met September 8 regarding an application to the Ohio Public Works Commission for funds for Phase 2 of the West Market Street, which is State Route 55 Corridor Improvement Project. This is a multi-year project. Phase 2 is anticipated to be in the area between 2433 and 2310 West Market Street. The funding application would be for an amount not to exceed $600,000. If funded, Phase 2 would be designed in 2026, with the city responsible for the cost of the design and the project bid in 2027. It is the recommendation of this committee that legislation be prepared authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to file an application for OPWC funding for the West Market Street Corridor Improvement Project, Phase 2, and to execute any necessary agreements if funding is approved. Based on the October 6th application deadline, the committee does support emergency legislation, and this is respectfully submitted by Mr. Schilling, Mrs. Westfall, and myself as chair.
Any questions? Moving on. Citizen comments on any reports or agenda items. Come to the podium, name and address for the record. 2 minutes. Any questions? Seeing none, we will move on to resolutions. Mrs. Knight, will you please read Resolution R 49, 2025?
Resolution number R 49, 2025. A resolution authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Troy, Ohio, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission, state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required and declaring an emergency. This is for the second phase of the West Market Street project. First reading.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Move to suspend the readings by Mr. Twist, seconded by Mr. Phillips. Mrs. Knight, please call the roll.
Mrs. Marshall?
Yes.
Mr. Twist?
Yes.
Mr. Whidden?
Yes.
Mr. Sievert?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Schilling?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mrs. Snee?
Yes.
Mrs. Westfall?
Yes. Move to adopt. Second.
Move to adopt by Mrs. Westfall, seconded by Mrs. Snee. Mrs. Knight, please call the roll.
Mr. Twist?
Yes.
Mr. Whidden?
Yes.
Mr. Sievert?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Schilling?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mrs. Snee?
Yes.
Mrs. Westfall?
Yes.
Mrs. Marshall?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted.
Ending one of our quickest meetings of legislation, we're moving on to announcements, or we have any
There are none. Thank you.
comments? Madam Mayor,
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
Director of Public Service and Safety.
Well, let me prolong the meeting. I do have several. They're quick ones.
Okay.
Farmers Market ends. The last one is at the end of September 27th on Saturday, and then that will be done for the year. Halloween, trick or treat, October 30th, 6 to 8 p.m. That's a Thursday. The cemetery cleanup is ongoing through the month, and then the staff will start our biennial or a semi-annual cleanup. And then last but not least, leaf pickup we're looking at a mid-October start date. Not sure how many rounds. Last year, if I remember correctly, we got into a third round and it started snowing. And then we had to come back later. But more details will come out. We'll put that on in a press release and on social media. That's all I have.
Thank you. Law Director.
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
Mr. Sievert.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things. Number one, the Meet the Council at-large council meeting was this past Saturday at Hobart Institute of Technology, and a big thank you goes out to Tom Thunderberg, who hosted. If you have not been to the facility, he wanted to make sure that we invited everybody to just stop off, and he would be more than glad to give a tour. It's amazing what is going on there, and I think the two ladies, well, everyone who was there, and especially Susan and Lynn, were pleasantly pleased by how that event turned out. And then secondly, I guess just I'm sitting here in reflection over this past weekend, and for our little town, there's been a lot that happened between the pep rally on Thursday, the Troy Piqua game on Friday, and then I just kind of went through my day on Saturday. Meet the Council occurred, Cherry Street Farmers Market, Porch Fest, there was a cross-country meet, and there was a rally that Jason Barnhart put together, a candlelight vigil to honor Charles Kirk. And all of that occurred in our little town of 27,000 people. And we should really, I know people tend to look at the negative and dwell on the negative, but to coordinate that and put all that together, we've got something special here in Troy.
Mrs. Sneed.
Just again, a thank you to those who came out on Saturday. It's always good to meet and have that type of discussion and be able to share information, get questions that we are getting answers to. I did want to just mention one thing because I know people had asked about the former Browers building, and I think I understand that that should be completed or is planned for completion by the end of the year. That had been a concern that was raised because parking spots were taken up. So there were some other questions, and I'm sure we'll be getting answers as we get more information.
Yes, sir.
I would add a rather large asterisk to that comment. It is a historic building, and they continue to find some challenges, but they're moving along. Okay. They are active. I know the parking blockage has been a concern, but we're watching that, and they are, every time they're parking there, they are actively in the building doing some kind of cleanup and rehab.
You're just hoping they can finish that up?
Mrs. Westfall.
I just want to reiterate what my two council members at large said, that we had a good turnout. I think I counted 14 people plus us, so that was a good turnout. And appreciate people coming out there. The Hobart Welding facility is a gem. We should be so proud of that. And they do tours every day, and I think it's something that we should take advantage of. I, like Todd, had a very busy Saturday. I added some soccer games into that, but we have such a beautiful city, and we offer so much. We should be so proud of it, and I, for one, am very proud of our city. And I'm excited to see what happens with the Broward building, and I'm excited to see it being renovated.
Mr. Chalain.
Just to add to the Broward, I had a chance to walk through that, and for those that haven't really studied the building, on the north side of the building, or the side of the front of the building that's closest to the downtown, you can see the remnants of a theater that used to be up on the second and third floor. The windows in that area are actually 2 stories, and they used to have a theater in that. That was all one part, all the hotel. And they had at that end they had the theater, and then the performers had rooms in the hotel, and then they could walk to the rooms directly to the stage of the theater. And some of the brick arches in that building, and I think when it's fully restored and functional, I think it's going to be a very, very welcome addition to the downtown. And as I say, some people have already said, just have some patience, because when it's done, it's going to be really spectacular.
Mrs. Marshall.
I have nothing.
Mr. Whidden.
Just want to thank all the members of the public who came out again tonight, familiar faces, and some new ones. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Pierce.
Considering what happened last week and voices being silenced, I think it's very important with the people that showed up at the at-large meeting, being able to feel free to share their voice. I'm really thankful that we live in a society that we're not silencing voices, wherever they come from, usually, that we are open to listen, even here on council, and hearing what the public has to say. Thank you.
Mr. Phillips.
I have nothing this evening, thank you.
Mr. Twist.
I have nothing this evening.
Well, other than that, I'll give a shameless plug. This Thursday, there's an open house at Garden Gate. They got one of our good businesses. They got relocated a little farther out west. Next to PNC Bank. Todd says, come eat on him.
Dinner's on him.
Dinner's on me, don't eat on me.
Typical attorney. And then there's a Meet the Candidates night on the 22nd at the Troy Junior High School, 7 p.m.
No, it's
Oh,
at
it's
the
a
Bravo
home
Room.
Hey, where's that?
Bravo Room.
Bravo Room, okay, Bravo Room. And that it deals, and I think, if we're told right, that's only the Troy City Council. Is that correct?
Correct.
Contested races.
Which
They're
is
not
the, which
doing-
is the at-large people.
Yeah, but they're not doing issues.
Mr. Whitten, right?
Huh?
And-
And Mr. Whitten, yes. Yeah, it's just, because Board of Education apparently is having one later on somewhere else, at least Mime East is. So that's all the comments I have, except for, once again, we do have a fantastic city. We have a lot of things that hopefully we do not take for granted that many, 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 many other cities our size do not provide and or have opportunity to take part in. Other than that, staff have any questions, comments? Our wonderful public have anything? Come on down, name and address for the record.
Well, good evening. My name is Deb Hogshead. I live at 421 South Plum Street here in Troy. Wednesday, September 17, is Constitution Day. Hundreds of people have been convening at the Miami County Courthouse on a regular basis to participate in rallies organized by Resist and Persist Miami County. They've been calling out the current administration for its disregard of the Constitution and due process. The signs held aloft showcase a variety of government decisions that ultimately benefit large corporations and the rich. They echo the 27 grievances listed in the Declaration of Independence 249 years ago. According to the Museum of the American Revolution, and I'm quoting here, before and during the Revolution, cities served as vital civic arenas where political ideas and aspirations were publicly expressed by people from a variety of backgrounds. Cities were, and still are, places where society's political imagination of what is possible takes root, finds commonality, and builds unity, end quote. As you will see from the handout I've distributed, 25 Ohio communities understand that elected representatives from both parties are currently more accountable to large corporations and the ultra-wealthy than to the rest of us. And they've each passed resolutions and or ballot initiatives supporting an amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the We the People Amendment. Identified as House Joint Resolution 54 in the current Congress, the proposed amendment will require the regulation of money spent on political campaigns and put corporate entities in their rightful place, secondary to We the People. Supporting the We the People amendment may not have a direct bearing on decisions the Troy City Council makes. However, decisions by state and federal legislators and the judiciary, which are often influenced by billionaires and large corporations, will and do have direct and indirect implications for our community. I have time for only one example. Living in the Midwest, we're vulnerable to tornadoes. Most climate scientists agree that auto and power plant emissions contribute to climate change. Climate change is fueling extreme weather events. The fossil fuel industry spent $26 million to elect the 119th Congress and a new president. It's now enjoying cuts to regulations that had been established to combat climate change. Elon Musk himself spent $290 million on the 2024 election. And through his work with the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, he slashed budgets and cut staff at NOAA, the National Weather Service, and FEMA, jeopardizing public safety and our ability to prepare for and respond to extreme weather events. Democrats and Republicans alike have participated in this pay-to-play scheme for years. According to a February 2025 Pew Research survey, 72% of Americans say the role of money in politics is a very big problem. And this is an issue on which solid majorities of both Republican and Democratic respondents agree. As we observe Constitution Day, we should reflect on what a democracy is and consider whether we even have one. And we should remember that the 39 men who signed the Constitution included provisions for amending it. If we are to have a government with representatives who are genuinely accountable to we the people, our Constitution needs amending again. The We the People Amendment is critical to achieving this goal, and it's consistent with the aspirational message of our Constitution's preamble, which ordained and established the Constitution to form a more perfect union. I'd like to see the Troy City Council become the 26th Ohio community to pass a resolution, ordinance, or ballot initiative in support of the We the People Amendment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here to read a statement from Dr. Stephen Griffith.
Name and address. Name and address.
It's in his statement, if that's all right.
Your name.
Dr. Page, 421 South Plum Street.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Stephen Griffith. I live at 2353 Fiesta Drive in Concord Township. While I live in the township, I am impacted by this issue and many actions of this council. Let me expand briefly on Ms. Hogshead's remarks with two additional examples. Vivekan Ramaswamy is campaigning for governor. He has raised record amounts of campaign funds for this race. He is supported by two large political action committees whose positions will impact the local community. First, these committees support initiatives to reduce and eventually eliminate state and local income taxes, as well as property taxes. And Ramaswamy has adopted these positions, but has put forth no credible plan to offset these reductions in revenues. Numerous independent sources, including the Tax Policy Center, Ohio County auditors, and others, estimate the impact on local government and school funding of between $19 and $24 billion annually. While I would like to pay lower taxes, I do value good government services such as fire, police, water, and sewer, and others. These PACs and Ramaswamy also support school vouchers, a program that gives more money per student to private schools than is available for public schools. Ramaswamy is campaigning to increase standards for public schools, but supports vouchers for private schools which must meet no such standards. While this is mostly directly an issue for school boards, it has an impact on the economic health of a community at large. Let me give you an example. When I was vice president at Emerson Electric's Copeland division up in Sydney, I was involved in a number of site selection efforts for new plants. In one case, Jackson, Mississippi and Lebanon, Missouri were under consideration. One significant factor considered was the quality of local schools. People do not want to relocate to communities with failing schools. Jackson's schools were so abysmal that the area was eliminated. Lebanon eventually won out, in part because of the healthy school system and other educational opportunities available locally. The plant was built, jobs were created, the tax base was increased, and the area continued to prosper. Outside money from large donors, particularly PACs and corporations, distort the political process and thwarts the will of local communities. I urge you to support a resolution to support the We the People amendment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bradley Banger, 105 Crestwood Drive. Couple things. First of all, one of the things that was brought up in the at-large meeting on Saturday was communication, or lack thereof. And at Mr. Sievert's urging, I went home after the at-large council meeting and downloaded the My Tip City app. So thank you for that, Mr. Sievert. I downloaded that app, and you are absolutely correct. It is 100% a good app. And it is one that we here in Troy should be looking at, or something similar to that. That's all I have on that. Now, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. What I've just read to you is the preamble, of course, to the Constitution of our United States. And while that says a lot of things, I want to focus on the first three words: we the people. Benjamin Franklin was once asked what kind of nation we would have. His response was, a republic, if you can keep it. Well, friends, I'm here to tell you today that we haven't kept our republic. We have given over so many of our rights to billionaire corporations, it's not funny. And if you don't think this impacts you on a local level, you best think again. How many of you up here remember a couple years ago there was a ballot initiative in the state of Ohio to increase the threshold of passing for citizen-led initiatives from 50% plus one to 60%? Do any of you remember that? I do. The rationale behind that initiative was to keep billionaire out-of-state public interest out of our electoral system. Now that was a bit of an oxymoron. Can any of you up there tell me who sponsored that amendment? Does anybody know? Does anybody know? I'll tell you who it was. It was a gentleman by the name of Richard Uihlein from Illinois. You probably don't know who he is, but if you've ever been in the commercial sector, you've probably purchased some of his products because he founded a company called Uline Products, which is one of the biggest purveyors of shipping items, tapes, boxes, etc. And he's a billionaire. He backed that program on the ostensible thing of keeping billionaires out of our politics. Now, how much of a hypocrite was that? And corporate personhood as a concept is not something that just started with Citizens United. If you look back in the history of our country, it's something that's been around since the late 1800s. When you look at the history of our country, some of our biggest financial panics were solved not by the federal government, but by bankers. In fact, the Panic of 1897 and 1903 were both broken by none other than J.P. Morgan, one of the biggest bankers of the time, which is now Chase Morgan Bank. So corporate personhood and billionaires in politics has been around for 130, 140 years. It's nothing new. We, the people, are the ones that elect our government officials, not the corporate billionaires. Each one of you that sits on this dais today is here because you were elected by the people of the city of Troy, not the corporations. So I want you to think about that. And as Ms. Hogshead said, 25 cities in the state of Ohio have passed a resolution supporting House Joint Resolution 54, which would return politics to we the people. And I encourage you, like Deb and like Doug and Dr. Griffith, to become the 26th city. Return our political process to the people who it was meant to be for, not the corporations. Thank you.
Anyone else?
becoming a familiar face here. My name's Dana Schilling. I'm at 1 West Franklin Street here in Troy. I just want to speak up to the Citizens United thing and the corporate and the billionaires having control. Relating to our city of Troy and Miami County, I'm sure you're all aware that a lot of the housing going up now is not for middle to lower class people in this town. You're not going to have a town if you don't include middle and lower class housing. The wealthy can support it to a certain point, but you can't make your whole town be full of wealth and higher income people. So, and this is happening because there are corporate entities that are buying the houses, boom, like that. They go on the market one day and they go off the next day because a corporation buys those houses. They aren't even on the market long enough for private citizens to buy the houses. And I don't know how you guys can solve it, but something needs to be done to at least provide for middle to lower class income housing in this city. So you've got, different grades of people. I don't know how you can deal with the corporate housing issue with the corporations coming in and buying them and flipping them and then renting them for $1,200 to $1,600, which is what's going to happen with Bowers. Their rent's going to be $1,200 to $1,600 a month. I think that's crazy, especially since I'm next door paying, I'm in the Morris house, and thank God you have a place like that where the retirees or people that are disabled can at least live downtown in a nice situation where we can walk around. But I think you need to consider when these new groups come to town and want to build housing or try to encourage housing for more middle to lower class people, so you can have an equal amount of housing in Troy. And by the way, my problem is solved with Bowers. Finally, all of the dirt and dust and everything has disappeared, but I still wish you guys would think, if you remember me talking about it last month, I wish you would talk to the Planning Commission when there are buildings in your downtown area being refurbished. There's no reason that your Planning Commission people can't walk over there when they're getting ready to do tear-outs and just see what's getting torn out to begin with, and then also coming back and inspecting if they're spraying some kind of chemical, because they were, which was probably a sealant or I don't know. But, we have no idea what was in that, if it was harmful for people. So to fly back on that part. But I do wish you would consider encouraging more middle to lower class housing builders to come into the area. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, our next meeting will be October 6th, 7 p.m. right here. Meeting adjourned.